Hi there. Well, we're going to take you for a little bit of a jaunt around Southgate the way it would have looked about 50 odd years ago, or even 60 years ago. I say, let's start with 60, 66 years ago, 65 years ago. That's how City Hall looked. If you were standing around Leo Edwards and you were looking back towards town there, you can even see the old fire hall down there at the end of Main Street. And City Hall and the Methodist Church and Valley Lumber on the right there. Long time ago, I know. Anyway, straight up over the top, if you were looking down 1963, it gives you a feel for what was where. Leo Edwards, Southgate Shopping Center, Westgate Motors, GM Automotive, Rightway Motors, and Butchard's. There was a lot of auto dealers right around that corner. I guess that was a good spot for them then. And you see where Southgate is. Well, that was after 1959. Before 1959, that was a trailer park. So if you were coming up Chiam Avenue towards Yale West and you were looking towards Chilliwack Mountain, all you'd see would be a trailer park. Anyway, in 1959 they built Southgate, which at the time was only the second shopping center in British Columbia. The first one had been Oak Ridge Shopping Center in Vancouver. But you can see that there's been a lot of changes. Super Value, that's where the Shoppers Drug Mart is now, and at that time back then there was 1973, it looks like a parade featuring East Chilliwack Co-op, and across the street was Westgate Motors. It used to be the Rambler dealership, and they had used cars, and there was an Austin dealership in behind there as well. And on the other corner was, what was his name, Ivan Bureau, I think it was, and he had Rightway Service. That was a Chevy dealer. Yeah, Ivan Bureau, that was it. They had a promotional campaign at the time, and what they would do, they go around the gas stations and the dealers, and there's Len Butchart, and they'd have these kind of ads with the dealership and a picture of the owner of the dealership looking down, and that's just in front of where the Dairy Queen used to be in Southgate there. Merlin Bunt worked there for a while, I believe. And I think we all smile when we think of the 1 cent sale at the Dairy Queen. That's Jim Butchart. There was a lot of Butcharts, thankfully for the rest of us. And he ran GM Automotive, right? And this is when Mrs. Keith Gregory won a 63 Mercury Monterey. She's been given the keys there. And that's a pretty good contest for Chilliwack. Usually you win $5 or something, but to win a car. This was called Christie's fruit stand. They had hot dogs, and it was fairly a very popular place for a long time. My dad swore by that place. He said they had the best foot-long hot dogs. I remember this when I was a kid, going to see this fire, the Boyd's Feed Mill fire. I got pictures of it somewhere with my old Brownie Star Flash camera, but that was a big feed mill. And it was right at the corner of Railway. And there's Pat Shell Service. That was also down around the same corner of Alexander and Yale West. And this is in 61 when they were putting all the sewage lines in on Bernard Avenue into the Westview subdivision. They were putting a whole bunch of new streets in there. And Randy Scott has some pretty good memories of that neighborhood. His mother's friend Marjorie Dobson worked at the BC Hydro. She was there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed all that.